Good Wednesday morning, everyone, and thanks so much for starting your day with us right here on NBC5 News at Sunrise. I'm Allison Ross.
I'm Kyle Lieberman. Yeah, hopefully you guys had a fantastic night's sleep because it has already been a busy day here in our newsroom.
It's been a busy day, and you just spilled your water, but now we have a nice, clean desk.
Clean. You're welcome. Just doing a little cleaning here in the studio. Before we head out the door this morning, let's check in with meteorologist Matt Jordan with a look at what things are shaping up to be like on this Wednesday morning. Hey there, MJ.
I gotta say, that's the shiniest the desk has been.
Yeah, it has been.
It is.
We're running all over the place, going in different cameras, and things are bound to get spilled. It's election results day, so yeah, it happens. But I'm here to tell you about the weather, and there it is. There's the weather. You can see, ooh, the lights of Grants Pass, always gorgeous. You can see as we clear things out at the higher levels, we have more and more of this fog. These low clouds build up in the early morning, then the sun actually comes up. And you can see it, and there's plenty of it out there. So another day, a lot like yesterday, where the clouds start out in the early morning, very cold temperatures, freezing fog if possible, and then a little bit later, about 10, 11 a.m., all of that clears out and we're left with sunny skies and a little bit of cloud cover, but not a whole lot. You can see east of the Cascades where we don't have any cloud cover at all, no fog to speak of either. Very cold, 18 degrees in Klamath Falls, 9 for Lakeview, 30s as you look at the West Valleys, especially cold in Cave Junction, freezing fog, a possibility in Grants Pass. Out on the coast, you're next to the ocean, so you tend to regulate your temperatures just a little bit more, but 53 for Brookings and 42 for Crescent City. Plenty of fog out on the coast and a little further inland, parts of Douglas County and Josephine County dealing with that. So be aware of that if you do happen to be driving around. Just about all of us, take a few extra moments, let your car defrost, and don't leave it alone if it is defrosting. Back to you.
Matt, thanks so much. We begin this morning's elections result coverage with the race for Oregon governor. A tight race throughout, but Oregon Governor Kate Brown leading the votes. Right now, Governor Brown leading Republican Representative Newt Buehler with about 49% of the votes, over 44% for Buehler. Governor Brown celebrating her re-election at a hotel in downtown Portland last night.
So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Governor Kate Brown.
In her acceptance speech, she touched on a number of things, including how she'll be moving forward.
Improving the lives of hundreds of thousands of Oregonians. Together, we can ensure that every one of us has a warm, safe, dry, affordable place to call home.
Governor Brown also mentioned affordable health care, campaign finance reform, protecting Oregon's air, water, and coastline, and growing the economy with more jobs. Her challenger, Republican Newt Buehler, still has hope for the future of Oregon.
It's my hope that what we've done here with this campaign will provide progress for Oregon. At the end of the day, that will be the final result.
Buehler ended his concession speech talking about the unknown future of his career, but he did joke his first priority will be to take a vacation.
And in California, current Lieutenant Governor Democrat Gavin Newsom beat Republican businessman John Cox. At last check, Newsom has more than 57% of that vote. Cox conceded to Newsom last night. Newsom says that California still has a lot of work to do on housing, homeless, and the issue of affordability. And taking a look at a local legislative race, Ashland Republican State Senate Alan DeBoer chose not to seek re-election this year. He was elected to finish out final 2 years of Senator Alan Bates' term in the 2016 election after Democrat passed away that summer. Democrat Jeff Golden is a former Jackson County commissioner and author. Republican Jessica Gomez is a business owner and former Democrat. She's also running for her first political office. Golden is solidly in a position to take the seat for Democrats at 55% of that vote to 43%. And the lead also is part of the reason Oregon House Democrats are celebrating a supermajority. Senator-elect Golden is obviously happy with how the results unfolded. We spoke with him last night where he was celebrating in Ashland.
It feels great, and it's more than anything because of the support of the community of friends and volunteers and people I've never met before, and it was just a totally uplifting experience. I'm a very lucky guy.
Jeff Golden has lived most of his adult life in the Rogue Valley, working in forest management. For that reason, he says he's committed to focusing on our environmental issues. He also has plans to tackle health care and improving Oregon's public education system.
Oregon's only Republican representative in Washington, D.C. is Congressman Greg Walden, and he's looking to be elected to his 11th term representing the 2nd District in Oregon. It's one of the largest in the entire country, encompassing about 20 counties in southern, central, and eastern Oregon. A Hood River resident looking to get a challenge out of the fall election is a rural Democrat. That is Jamie McLeod Skinner. She is an Ashland High School grad. The Central Oregon resident now hoping her platform would speak to more conservative voters in the vast 2nd District. But as you can see, it appears that Congressman Walden was not threatened like many in the House. The congressman appears to have been reelected with about 56% of the vote. We spoke with him last night. He says one of his top priorities is trying to figure out a solution to the catastrophic wildfires that have caused smoke problems, specifically right here in the Rogue Valley.
We certainly had the most competitive race I've had with both our U.S. senators and the governor actively campaigning and supporting my opponent. Haven't had to deal with that before, but I think we did. And again, I think the results speak for themselves. This kind of a margin's a big margin in almost any other circumstance. And so I'm very pleased and honored.
So the House of Representatives went from Republican control to Democrats, but Congressman Walden says he will not let this stop him from continuing his work in D.C. The Republicans also had some significant wins in Jackson County with State Representative-elect Kim Wallen and the Jackson County Commissioners.
6:36, turning to news on Capitol Hill. America is waking up to divided government in Washington this morning. The midterm elections have given Democrats control of the House of Representatives. Republicans are still in charge of the Senate. Tracy Potts has the winners, the losers, and what it all means going forward.
Congressional Campaign Committee.
Democrats won control of the House of Representatives with a record number of women elected as the blue wave swept through places like Virginia. Jennifer Wexton becomes the first Democrat to represent her district in nearly 4 decades.
We have the power to make things better.
Republicans held on to the Senate with Ted Cruz's victory over Beto O'Rourke in Texas.
We want a future with more jobs and more security and more freedom.
Senate Republicans took seats from Democrats in Indiana, North Dakota, and Missouri, where Josh Hawley beat Claire McCaskill.
I will be out there fighting with you. I am not going away. I love this state. I will continue to serve.
West Virginia's Joe Manchin heads back to Washington with this message for President Trump.
We've got to bring people together. Mr. President, I want you to be president of the United States, not the divided states.
Tremendous success tonight, the president tweeted, the White House downplaying Democrats taking over the House.
The president's agenda isn't going to change regardless of whose party is there.
Some races are still up in the air this morning. Florida's Senate, despite this from Republican Rick Scott.
I'm going to D.C. to get something done.
And Georgia's governor's race.
We're going to make sure that every vote is counted.
Stacey Abrams' bid to become the nation's first African-American female governor, still too close to call. And there were a lot of firsts in this election. The nation's first openly gay governor, 3 states with their first female governors, the first women, Native American and Muslim members of Congress, and the youngest member of Congress at 29 years old. Most of those part of what some are calling the pink wave. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Tracy, thanks so much. Back here at home, we're getting a look at some of the results from Oregon statewide measures, starting off with 103, or the grocery sales tax measure. So this measure aimed to ban the implementation of sales tax on groceries. That includes food and soda. Oregon doesn't have a statewide sales tax, but the state also doesn't prevent a local government from implementing one on your groceries. So looking at the latest statewide numbers from the Secretary of State's office, it appears 57% voted no on that measure.
Another money measure is Oregon Measure 104. It has voters deciding whether to set a 3/5 legislative majority vote for any proposal to increase revenue for the state. Right now, this type of vote only takes place on bills meant to raise taxes. Now, a yes vote expands the 3/5 majority needed for any revenue bill. A no vote keeps the law the way it is, and you can see that's what Oregonians are voting for. 65% want to keep it the way it is. All right, we've been through a lot this morning, and we still have more results to get through this morning, but we want to remind you that NBC5 News is your place for continuing election coverage. You can head over to our Facebook page. Right now, we are on Facebook Live. You can also watch Facebook Live videos from last night, which include interviews with some of the candidates and election officials. And of course, you can visit our website, KOBI5.com, for all the election information for Decision 2018. Allie and I are going to take a moment to breathe and send it over to Matt for a second. You'd have to look at your weather. Hey,
Yeah, you guys really deserve a break right now. That is a lot of numbers. I can give you guys some numbers too, but these a little different overall, not too controversial. Radar loop right now, you can see some clouds out there, some low clouds, especially for the Grants Pass area. Fairly typical compared to what we've seen over the last few days. A little bit more clearing on the other side of the Cascades here at the Cascades themselves, and then you got Klamath Basin, Klamath Falls, a little bit of fog possible. Some cloud cover in Northern California as well. Overall, another cold morning, and then we head in the afternoon. All of this starts to clear on out, and we go into the afternoon with some sunshine and slightly warmer temperatures. Warmest place is going to be out on the coast. That's typical of this time of year, especially in Brookings with some winds out of the north, partly cloudy and some areas of fog. In the West Valley is mostly sunny. Freezing fog are possible early. We're seeing around 32 degrees right now for the Grants Pass area, and you have plenty of fog out there, so be aware of that. Just give yourself some extra time driving around. Your highs in the 50s with mostly clear skies later tonight. And east of the Cascades, we got sunny skies, highs in the 40s and 50s. Clear tonight, your lows in the teens and 20s, so it's going to be cold again. Back to you.
All right, Matt, thanks so much. 6:41 is the time right now. NBC5 News at Sunrise is just getting started. Coming up, funds for public safety may mean an increase in food prices. How are the Jacksonville tax measures doing?
And it looks like marijuana may become legal in Klamath Falls, but it'll take a while for the city to take steps forward. We'll tell you why.
And if you're heading out the door, here's a look at the lowest gas according to GasBuddy.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more NBC5 News at Sunrise.